Lord Belmonent desperately begs Takeru to save his wife. Takeru explains he cannot use his mass mana technique on Lady Muleteria. He focuses instead on her immediate pain, light sensitivity. Using a gentle, controlled heal spell, Takeru treats her damaged eyes. She opens them, finding her vision perfectly restored, pain-free. Encouraged, Takeru cleanses the room with clean magic and opens the windows, flooding the space with light. Lady Muleteria weeps tears of joy. The light no longer hurts her, and she embraces her husband. Takeru places an orange magistone safeguard near her room in case she is attacked. While Clay celebrates, Takeru remains focused. The poisoning persists. Takeru and Lord Belmonent move to the library to discuss the Ivor toxin. They quickly deduce someone must be poisoning Lady Muleteria. When Takeru asks for an antidote, the Lord reveals the poison and its cure were lost to time. Ingredients for both have been forgotten for centuries. Desperate, Belmonent shows Takeru his family book collection. Many are in an ancient language. Thanks to a decipher skill Takeru learned from an adventurer's diary, and his adapted search skill, Busca, Takeru finds the relevant journal. The journal, belonging to Pola Pola, describes finding the sparkly gold Ivor flower by a horse-shaped rock near a huge lake. Clayston identifies the location, Asheth village in the Vanon region. Despite the 5-day journey, Takeru declares, they must leave immediately. As they prepare to leave, the treacherous butler, Bernard, sends a pigeon out a window. Lady Tiaris rushes up to Takeru, filled with remorse, and apologizes for her earlier rudeness. Takeru accepts her apology, giving her vital advice. If anyone tries to manipulate her, she must use Hurenso, report, contact, consult, immediately with her father. Once away from the castle, Takeru uses quick and reduction to dramatically increase their speed, leaving Clay astonished. They arrive at Asheth village, finding it a barren wasteland. Takeru scans Lake Galeus and discovers it was deliberately contaminated with Paleocin toxin. The lake is polluted. They encounter starving, weakened villagers. The villagers reveal that 10 months ago, the lake and wells were poisoned. A merchant, Ngash, arrived, offering water in exchange for the village's sacred shiny flowers, the Ivor flower, known to them as the divine flower. To keep themselves alive, they made a deal with Ngachi to trade clean water for 1 Ivor flower per month. Ngache's water wasn't enough, leading to crop failure and famine. Takeru furiously exposes Ngache, a villain who intentionally contaminated the lake to exploit their resource. Vowing revenge on Ngachi, Takeru commands B to use spirit arts. B lets out a mighty roar, summoning a downpour to revive the land. Once the rain stops and the sun shines, Takeru uses his Teldrassail staff to cast clean on the villagers and repair on the village structures. He then uses his cooking skills to feed everyone nourishing soup. As repayment, Takeru only asks to be shown the Ivor flower so he can manufacture an antidote. The chief agrees. The village children, now lively, swarm Takeru, offering to take him to their secret base, a barn where they store the sweet nectar from the salty lidas fruit, whose juice is identical to soy sauce. Back at the mansion, Takeru's Magistone alarm rings. Lady Tiaris rushes to investigate and finds Bernard at the door. He tries to discredit Takeru, but Tiaris immediately reports the incident to Lord Belmonent, using Ho-Renso. In the study, Lord Belmonent asks Bernard to drink the water prepared for Lady Muleteria's treatment. Bernard refuses, and when the Lord splashes it, Bernard recoils, screaming, "It's poison!" Lord Belmonent drinks it himself, proving the water is harmless, and exposing the butler Bernard as Muleteria's poisoner. Bernard is arrested. Lord Belmonent immediately receives a ciphered letter, and a look of shock crosses his face. The encoded letter is discovered in Bernard's room. Meanwhile, in Asheth, Ngash visits to forcibly take all the Ivor with his hired thugs. A guard reveals the chief is with the adventurers, and they know the flower is poison. Ngash announces a change of plans. They will finish the village now. Takeru and his party, escorted by the chief, arrive at the field with the horse statue and the Ivor flowers. Takeru exclaims, "We have found the divine flowers." Deep inside a dark cave, the village elder led Takeru and Clay to a beautiful underground lake. Here, beside a horse statue, grew the golden Ibur flowers. Takeru sat down and used his scan spell on the flower. The scan revealed that the Ibur garden is guarded by a legendary beast. The chief explained that this was Hofalnir, their village guardian, who long ago saved them from a lake demon. As the chief mentioned the myth that the Ibur flowers grew from Hofal's tears, Takeru wondered if it was right to take such precious herbs. The elder insisted, seeing Takeru as the village's savior, and gave his approval. After thanking him, Takeru cut a flower with his scissors, excited to make the antidote and test the strange soy fruit he had found earlier. The calm was instantly broken when a villager rushed toward them in a panic, alerting them that an attack was underway. Takeru and Clay rushed back to Ashisu village. Upon arrival, they found the buildings burning and ruined. Takeru quickly commanded B to put out the flames while Clay evacuated the villagers. Once the fires were out, they were relieved to find no one was seriously hurt. A villager explained that this devastation followed the visit of the merchant, Ingash. When the village refused to give him more of the Ibur flowers, Ingash went rogue and set the entire village on fire. Hearing this, Takeru clenched his fist in rage. The elder then revealed that the boy, Ganza, was missing. An old lady confirmed that Ingash's subordinates had kidnapped him, fleeing toward the lake. Using his enhanced search skill, Takeru quickly located the villains inside an abandoned fortress. Though the chief warned them, Takeru reassured him that Clay, an A-rank adventurer, would certainly bring Ganza back. Outside the fortress, Takeru and Clay waited in the bushes. B flew to a window and returned with intel. The bandits were shamelessly having a celebratory party inside. Hearing the thieves rejoice after burning a helpless village sent Clay flying into a rage. Transforming into his dragon form, he prepared to destroy them. Takeru calmed him down, pointing out that a reckless charge could put Ganza at risk. Clay, frustrated but realizing Takeru was right, suggested a concealment technique. Using their magic, Takeru and Clay infiltrated the fortress, quietly knocking out a drunk guard. While searching the bandits' storage for evidence of poison, they heard the bandits laughing upstairs, mocking the village and revealing Ingash's true, malicious plan. The bandits boasted they would use Ganza as a hostage to get the Ibur flowers. Their discussion turned to exploiting Lord Belmonant's wife's poisoning, intending to spread the news globally to market Ibur as a rare, untreatable poison and sell it for huge profits to assassins. Takeru finally understood why the merchant was so interested in the flower. Clay, now restless with fury, was given the command to obliterate the bandits without killing them. Clay burst through the main door, terrifying the thieves. Seeing his subordinates overwhelmed by the dragon, Ingash decided to escape. He ordered a goon to retrieve a secret weapon. Suddenly, the invisible Takeru, impersonating a bandit, tricked Ingash into revealing Ganza was safely secured in an outer building. Outside, Takeru located Ganza in a guarded room. B quickly dispatched the guard with a swift headbutt. Takeru broke the lock by hardening his hand, and Ganza ran into his arms crying in relief. The bandits outside panicked, fleeing from a terrifying monster, a giant sea anemone, the secret weapon summoned by Ingash. Takeru scanned it and found it was only a B-rank demon. He rushed back inside to help Clay, who was struggling against the creature's endlessly regenerating tentacles. Takeru used an ice breath skill to freeze the demon's entire body and instructed Clay to aim for the brain between its two red eyes. Clay struck with a powerful punch, but the demon was only enraged, unleashing an army of tentacles. The attack blew Takeru and Ganza out of the fortress. Takeru managed to toss Ganza to B before falling into the poisonous lake below. As he sank through the toxic water, Takeru lamented that he might die, but realized his body had acted on its own to save the boy. He heard a woman's voice from the void, but stubbornly ignored it while dwelling on his fate. Finally, she yanked him out of the water. Takeru saw a flying horse holding him, the legendary Hofalnir. Hofalnir showed Takeru that the lake had turned a pure blue color, explaining that Takeru's magic had purified the water. She revealed that centuries ago, she used all her power to create the Ibur flower to absorb the lake's poisonous magic, turning herself into the stone statue. Takeru's recent absorption of the poison had restored her power. After accepting her thanks, Hofalnir returned Takeru to Clay and Ganza, then transformed into a burst of light. Back at Belmainant's mansion, Takeru and Clay used a doctor from the Adventurers Guild to create the Eber antidote. Takeru gave the liquid to Lady Miluetta. She improved instantly. Takeru confirmed via scan that the poisoning was completely cured. The good news brought Tuss to tears, and the whole family wept in celebration. Afterward, Takeru returned to the village to help rebuild. He reassured the chief that Ingosh was safely in the custody of the territory lord. The grateful chief asked how to repay him, and Takeru asked only to collect the Eber flowers for future antidotes. He then showed the chief his true reward. He cooked a potato and poured a sauce over it made from the villagers' bitter discarded Lidis fruit. The chief immediately fell in love with the taste. Takeru revealed the sauce was soy sauce and proposed a business deal, buying the seemingly useless Lidis fruits in bulk and selling the resultant soy sauce as a Belsim village specialty. Finally, while riding out of the village, Takeru admitted he was exhausted. He looked at the sun and thought he was hallucinating when he saw Hofalnir materialize beside him. Clay saw her too. Hofalnir landed and, transforming into a woman, declared she was tired of being stuck in the village and wanted to travel the world with him. Though Clay objected, Hofalnir reminded Takeru he needed a horse anyway. Takeru nodded, but thought it was too much to use a legendary beast like a common mount. Hofalnir didn't seem to mind, and happily told Takeru he can go wherever he wants with her, cementing her place as a new, legendary pain in the rear end. A few days later, Takeru went to visit Gralis, seeking to commission another pair of superior harvesting scissors. The master blacksmith immediately boasted that his latest sword had won a prestigious competition, crediting Takeru's supply of high-quality Ildrite ore. Gralis, eager to return the favor, was thrilled to create the finest gathering scissors Takeru could imagine. Leaving the shop, Takeru found Hofalnir waiting impatiently. Though he appreciated her companionship, her mischievous streak showed when she asked if she should whip Gralis to speed up his work. Takeru quickly diverted her, and Hofalnir settled for simply demanding food. This soon led to an amusing squabble with B, who also wanted a snack. Their bickering was interrupted by Grit, who invited Takeru to the Adventurers Guild for an urgent discussion. Inside, Grit explained that the guild was preparing for its annual gathering competition. While Takeru politely declined Ariana's invitation, citing his status as merely a casual gatherer, Grit revealed that Lord Belmainant himself was sponsoring the entire event and specifically requested Takeru's participation. Unable to refuse a friend and benefactor, Takeru reluctantly agreed. Outside the guild days later, the guildmaster announced the event was sponsored by Belmainant as a recovery gift for Lady Miluetta. The objective for the competitors was to collect 7-colored wool from the rare rainbow sheep. Takeru, despite his gathering skills, was surprised he hadn't heard of the material, which the guildmaster acknowledged was extremely rare and might require extensive research. Critically, the guildmaster forbade any assistance from party members, emphasizing the event's solo spirit. Hearing this rule, Hofalnir realized she couldn't serve as Takeru's mount. After running through the regulations, Clay reluctantly told Takeru he would have to go alone, which shocked poor B. Takeru reassured them, confident in his magic, but when Clay suggested using teleportation magic to cheat the search, Takeru refused, reasoning that such blatant use of high-tier magic would only cause trouble and create sore losers. The guildmaster announced the start of the competition, but B, desperate not to be separated, refused to leave Takeru's side. Hofalnir calmly pulled the baby dragon off and used her mana to lull him to sleep, instructing Takeru to compete without worry and leave the baby dragon in her care. Takeru sprinted straight to the library, where he quickly skimmed through books until he found information confirming that the rainbow sheep inhabited the remote Mount Takarana. He immediately headed to the location. Reaching the towering mountain, Takeru realized he had a demanding climb ahead to reach the sheep at the summit. Feeling anxious about embarking on a quest without B for the first time, Takeru ironically imagined B stress-eating and getting fat back at the guild, a thought which amused him. Meanwhile, back in the city, B sadly munched on a sandwich, still stressed. Hofalnir asked why he was worried, noting Takeru's strong protection barrier. but then boastfully claimed she would have been much more useful to him as a horse. This declaration angered B, who considered himself Takeru's primary mount. Hofalnir stood up, ready to prove her speed, but Clay swiftly intervened, reminding her that everyone already acknowledged she was the fastest, a compliment that placated her. Clay then complimented B's agility as well, which finally settled the tense argument. Although relieved that the two powerful beasts had calmed down, Clay was worried about having to handle them for long without Takeru's help. Takeru, unaware of the drama, ate a hot bowl of gyoza that night before sleeping. The next morning, Takeru successfully reached the peak and found the rainbow sheep grazing peacefully. Knowing that the small animals are quick to run, he wondered how to capture them. Takeru decided to speak sheepish, magically attracting the entire flock. With their undivided attention, Takeru asked the sheep for their wool. A pink sheep, trusting and eager to be sheared, hopped right onto his lap. Takeru gently used a comb to collect the wool, quickly followed by the rest of the flock, who willingly offered their colorful bounty. After collecting the required amount, Takeru started heading back home. During his descent, he paused, noticing a majestic dragon flying nearby, and wondered if B would grow up to look just as magnificent. Upon Takeru's return, B immediately awoke and clung to him, crying as if Takeru had just survived a war. Shortly thereafter, the guildmaster announced Takeru's victory and promoted him to FB rank. Takeru was initially confused by the rank, but the guildmaster explained it allowed him to accept gathering or adventuring quests ranging all the way from F rank to B rank. Although Takeru seemed to consider focusing purely on gathering, the guildmaster strongly cautioned him against consistently over-delivering on product quality. He warned that selling materials far superior to what clients paid for would severely crash the local market. Takeru was shaken by the advice, but the guildmaster clarified that he and the rest of the guild rooted for him and didn't want to see his high-quality work undervalued. Pondering their sincerity, Takeru considered accepting more official quests for the guild. Clay quickly told him to make up his mind, and Hofalnir added that he easily deserved the special rank. With both friends urging him, Takeru finally accepted the FB rank ring. As he took it, the guildmaster expressed his hope for Takeru's future contributions. Suddenly, a commotion started as Ariana burst in, announcing that a forest worm had appeared near the main road. Now formally recognized as an adventurer, Takeru immediately headed out with Clay to confront the monster. Upon arrival, the party waited, and soon the massive worm crawled into view, towering over them like a skyscraper. As they prepared to engage, a familiar voice called out to Takeru from atop the worm's head. Brolite, who was using the monster as a mount. After she greeted Takeru, Clay, and B, Brolite dismounted, but Takeru swiftly deployed his clean spell to eliminate her terrible stink. He asked why she was riding such a huge beast, and she explained that she brought it from her homeland specifically as a gift for Takeru to use as a mount. Takeru, seeing the filthy monster, used his clean spell on it too, which terrified the worm, causing it to instantly burrow away. Takeru explained to Brolite that such large monsters were unsuitable mounts, prompting her to wonder if she should find a horse instead. Hofalnir quickly interjected, saying he didn't need one. Takeru then invited Brolite back to the city to explain everything. After treating her to a feast, Takeru explained his adventures since their last meeting, including forming a party with Clay and meeting Hofalnir. Brolite asked if she could join their party, and Takeru agreed immediately. Brolite proudly revealed her A-rank adventurer ring, surprising Clay, who she assured worked hard to achieve it. While Clay was excited to spar with Brolite, Hofalnir sensed Brolite had a pure soul, finding her spirit soothing. When Hofalnir began to refer to Brolite by a secret identity, Brolite quickly asked her to keep it private, which Hofalnir agreed to. Takeru then asked Brolite the real reason she needed his help. She revealed that her sister, Ludakara, the village priestess, had fled their homeland. Due to Ludakara's sacred role, village tradition required her to marry an elf to produce powerful children, but she refused to marry a random smelly man. Ludakara promised she would only accept the arranged marriage if she was given a beautiful white horse as a gift. Sadly, by the time Brolite finally procured the horse, Ludakara had already disappeared to get milk. Though Takeru felt uncomfortable with the seriousness of the situation, Brolite convinced him that he was the perfect person to find her sister. Takeru reminded Brolite that if he brought Ludakara back, she would be forced into a marriage she hated. Brolite clarified that she wasn't seeking to force her sister's return, only to understand why she had disappeared without a word. Understanding Brolite's sincere feelings, Takeru agreed to help and asked Clay and Hofalnir to join the quest. Both agreed without hesitation. Brolite then led them toward the Elven village, explaining that they would find it once they stumbled across a forest that met specific conditions. Takeru was baffled that she could simply use any forest to travel home, but Brolite explained that she uses Elven magic to manipulate space, creating a gateway to her homeland. Through certain points in the world, a process Takeru noted sounded similar to his own teleportation spell. Hofalnir excitedly offered to get everyone to the target forest at lightning speed. Transforming into her majestic horse form, she instantly captivated Brolite. They all enjoyed a comfortable, fast ride into the forest's depths. Upon arriving, Brolite used a summon spell to create a small, swirling vortex, the portal to her land. She instructed everyone to touch the vortex and close their eyes before entering. Brolite stepped through first, Clay and B followed, but Takeru hesitated, unnerved by the spatial gateway. Before he could enter, Hofalnir warned him to keep a close eye on Brolite, hinting that she carried painful secrets despite her cheerful demeanor. Hofalnir then passed through, leaving Takeru alone. He finally summoned his courage, touched the portal, and was sent through a spatial vortex into a vast, breathtaking Elven land. Takeru admired the beautiful landscape, only to be met by his angry companions, beaten up from waiting so long. Before Takeru could ask what happened, arrows suddenly shot out at them. Takeru blocked the shots with a shield, and Brolite frantically asked him not to attack, realizing the archers were her own villagers. Soon, several Elven villagers approached them, visibly angry that Brolite had returned. And that's all for this time. Please like and subscribe for more recaps, and we will see you next time.